Student Dr. Spears here at DoctorPremed.com. I wanted to talk to everyone about myself and some of the services I offer to students who are interested in working with me. That's something that you definitely should do because getting into medical school is extremely competitive. I don't want to get too much into the numbers, but 60% of students who apply to medical school the first time, they're actually rejected. So that really tells you that it's very, very competitive to get into medical school. And if you just look at some of the data, there's about 780,000 applications going out to medical schools each year. And then medical schools, individual medical schools, they're going to receive anywhere from 5,000 to upwards of 15,000 applications. And from breaking that down even further, they have to decide on which of those 15,000 applications they want to extend a medical school interview invite to. And that usually only goes out to about 1,000 students or so. And out of that 1,000 students, then only 100 or so to 150 are actually going to be admitted into the next year incoming class. So that kind of gives you a breakdown of how competitive it is to get into medical school. And there's a lot of moving parts and components involved in being a successful applicant to medical school. And my job is to give you your best chance and best shot of getting into medical school the first time that you apply so that you can be successful, get in and move on with your career and just do what you want to do and realize your dream of becoming a doctor. And so there's a lot of components in regards to that students just aren't aware of, because if you're a first time applicant, you just don't know what to expect, what's going to happen in this process. So you need somebody like myself who's been through the process. I've been helping students get into medical school since 2008. So you can just do the math on that. That's a long time. So I really know what it takes to get in to be successful with medical school. I know some people, they get concerned about financing, how much it's going to cost, and all of that. And you really need to put things in perspective, how much money you've already invested in yourself in this journey of becoming a physician. I know when I was in grad school, I was thinking about doing a program, a course to kind of accelerate my academics, and I really didn't want to do so, but I was speaking to one of my professors, and one of the lines that she said really stuck a chord with me and sticks with me to this day. She's like, Jason, whatever that course costs is a drop in the bucket to what you already put out to become a doctor. And just look at how much grad school is. That's over 50K 1 year of grad school. So anything else that you do is it's going to be a drop in the bucket compared to that. And then most recently, this is kind of interesting going off on a side point, I was speaking with some of the surgeons, and they were kind of asking me, oh, Jason, what specialty are you thinking about going into? All of that, how much student loan debt do you have, and things like that. And it was kind of joking how they're like, well, with everything that you're saying, then you definitely need to do a surgical procedure-based specialty. And that's kind of just they're joking around with that, obviously, but there's some truth into it. And you need to put things in perspective about what can actually happen for you if you do get into medical school and how your life is going to change. No one can ever take away the title of being a doctor from you. And just thinking of the numbers of how much you're going to make as a doctor, you don't go into medicine because of the numbers, but it's obviously something that you want to think about and consider. But you're going to make, let's say, just coming out after you finish residency, you're going to make upwards of $200,000 a year. Think about the lifetime earnings of that. Each year you're making $200,000 as opposed to what would you actually make or not make if you don't get into medical school. And so that's why it's so competitive, just from the financial standpoint of it, and why students are using services to give them that competitive advantage when there's so many people applying and 60% are going to be rejected. You have a better chance of flipping a coin in the air, calling heads or tails, and being right with that than you do really with getting into medical school. So that's why you need to really reach out to experts who know what they're doing, who can advise you and guide you appropriately so that you can be successful in getting into medical school. And that's what I do for students. Students are kind of hesitant at first. They're not sure. They don't know if this is something that they necessarily need to be doing. But then once we start working working with me, they see the expertise, the insights, the advice that I offer them. They're really amazed at what the transformation is going to occur with them in their process of getting into medical school. And I've taken students who really didn't think they had a shot or thought that they had to take another year before applying and worked with them, and they've got it into some top choice schools, their first choice medical schools. And that's the thing I want to do for you as well. I don't work with everybody who comes to me. I have no problem saying no. I think that's in both of our best interests. I'm not here to just say, oh, I'm going to take your money and try to make something happen if I don't believe it's possible. And that's why I have such a strong success rate, because if I work with you, I strongly believe in your chances of getting into medical school, and I want that to happen for you. And I also want to keep the Dr. Premed reputation strong and have a strong brand with that too. So I'm not going to work with students if they're not going to get in, because that's just not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for me. And so that's just one thing I throw out there with whoever speaks to me potentially working with. That's something that I do. I do screen the candidates I work with, kind of get an overview of your background, your academics, your personal history, and from that I can kind of within a couple minutes really put together an assessment of what needs to happen for you to be successful, not only if it's just getting into medical school, but if it's post-bac programs, or if it's even planning for the MCAT. I can strategize, give you some tips and advice for that. And the biggest thing that you really need to do is, if you're coming to me for help, I'm going to give you the best advice, knowledge, and tips out there. And what I give you isn't just coming from me. It's going to be what I call the Pre-Med Dream Team, because I was a former president of the Pre-Med Society at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. And so I make contact with the top AdComs from the top medical schools throughout the country. Then also being a medical student myself, I have contact with physicians across all different specialties and backgrounds, even medical students as well, pre-health advisors, professors at the grad level, medical school level. And so I just take in all of that knowledge and put it together to help you on your journey to medical school. And so it's not like I'm telling you, oh, this is what worked for me and I did it, so you can do it as well. No, this is going to be proven strategies, proven advice from a diverse opinion of people from all different backgrounds, all with one goal: to take you from pre-med to MD and just realize your dream of becoming a doctor. And you really, really need to heed and take in the advice that I offer for you when it comes to that, because I have students who are hesitant about working with me for whatever reason, or they don't think they have the financing together for that, and that's unfortunate. They kind of want to do things on their own and think that they can do it, and then I'll get an email a couple weeks or months later that, Jason, I need to work with you. I try to do things on my own and it didn't work out how it is. I'm kind of in a bind. Can you help me out? And obviously, I'll do my best to help them out. But you don't want to be in a position where you're coming to me because you need help last minute, or you didn't follow the advice that was offered to you. And I want to make sure that you have every tool at your disposal to get into medical school the first time around, to be successful and just be able to move forward with your life and get into medical school, live your dreams, make them become reality, and be one step closer to becoming that physician that you always wanted to be. And so I'm here for you. So that's just a little overview of how I work with students, and people are very, very satisfied when they work with me because I go above and beyond. I'm not just, oh, let's just wham bam get you in, get you out the door. No, I'm going to really work with you, take the time to know you, and figure out what is going to be the best step that you need to take to get where you need to be. And that's why it's great that you're looking into getting help for getting into medical school, being a better pre-med student. And so again, this is Student Dr. Spirit with DoctorPremed.com, and I look forward to hearing from you and seeing if we're a great fit to get you to the next step on where you need to be in your journey of becoming a doctor. Thanks.